Lowell State and Lowell Tech both had programs. I was out running one day in Lowell Drake at State Forest. There was a meet going on between Lowell Tech and Lowell State. I was running with a friend of mine who knew George Davis and introduced me to him. So I said, can we jump in the race? He said, okay, yeah. Jumped in and ran the race. George said, if you want to come back to school, come and talk to me about it. Eventually I did that. Back then, it took a while to get recognized, really, as the University of Lowell.
I was a super late bloomer. I didn't even start running until winter track my junior year of high school. Senior year was the first and only year of cross country for me in high school. Not a lot of coaches were knocking on the door, so a little bit of a hidden gem for George. Everybody had different personalities and everybody had different things that motivated them. One person needed a little bit more stern, other people needed a little more hands-off, and he always just knew the buttons to press on everybody.
George was very gracious to me, even as a student athlete at Keene State. Then when I got into coaching, I talked to him at different meets that we happened to be at, whether I was at Trinity or the Merchant Marine Academy. We always kind of touched base.
I saw him come down the hill when he was in like 10th place, and then everyone was just lined up. He's passing by one at a time. It took them a while to decide who won. They didn't have the sophisticated timing they have now. The picture was everywhere. The year that Vinny won, they still had a great team, but then the next year, we both ran cross country in the fall of '76. I ran the Division III meet, and I wound up second in the race. If you wanted to go to Division I, there were no teams. Division III and Division II, they took the top 4 individuals. George and I went to Denton, Texas. You had to be top 25 to be All-American. I finished 22nd.
Running the streets of Lowell, we used to go to the Drake at Forest all the time. When we'd do track workouts, we'd have to run over to Drake at High School and use their track. In the winter, we'd go to MIT a lot. We'd do that once a week. Other than that, we were running the streets of Lowell all winter long. Our mission at the beginning of the year was to get to nationals. They had the rankings, came out each week, and each week kind of kept moving up to the rankings. I think after the regionals is where we started thinking, hey, maybe this could be a reality. National Championship Day, we couldn't have gotten a better course on a better day for our team. Everybody that day had probably the race of their lives.
My college coach and George were friends. When the job came open, Pete reached out to me, who was my college coach, and George had reached out to him. One of the main reasons I was interested in the job is because George, he knew a lot about the program and I knew a lot of the alums.
He actually ran against Gary Gardner when I was in college. He was at Keene. When he took over the program, couldn't be happier.
There was a high standard here already. I inherited a really good group. At the indoor championships that year for New England, we won 5 distance events for the men that I was coaching. After that, we had the buy-in from the team and the alums started to believe that we were going to do some good things. We really go after blue-collar kids that we think are going to work hard and buy in and want to be here. If we see a one-off kid from a program that isn't traditionally strong, our interest is probably peaked a little bit more. If you see one kid that's significantly better than everybody else in the team, you probably figure he has the drive and the talent to do really well.
Gary Gardner was the cross-country and track coach. He was very welcoming and seemed homey. All the kids on the team seemed really nice.
I really liked Gary Gardner when I went on my visit. I liked the people I was communicating with.
The time when I started, we just used the streets and the Drake Woods for practicing.
We all pushed each other to be better than we were. It's important to have a good team because it fosters camaraderie.
I inherited a women's cross-country team that had 4 women. I had to talk one of our 400 hurdlers into running cross-country so that we could score as a team. There was 15 teams in the Northeast 10. We finished 14 out of 15. Nicole Plant came in that next recruiting class, and next year we went from 14th at the conference championship to the NCAA championships, second in their region. I think for the women, that was a big turning point.
It made us feel good as women to be able to bring a school to success. I just wanted to set the pace. I didn't care if people were right next to me or right behind me, but then probably a mile left, I started picking it up a little bit just to make a gap. That way I could make sure I could lose everybody behind me that was trailing me.
Luckily, I inherited a really good team. We made the NCAA championships every year I coached in Division II until the last year. Our first year in Division I was just one of those years. That's when we brought in Paul Hogan, Bobby Allen, and all those kids. The next year, we lost the conference championship by 1 point or 2 points, and then we won our first championship the following year by 40 points.
Years and months back training for that race, and it all was presented that day. In the moment, instantaneously, like when I fell, it's a shock to the system, but you know, like, when things go wrong, you can't give up, you gotta keep moving forward. A lot of credit has to go to Gary. He does a good job recruiting and motivating people. A lot of the kids like him and trust him and look up to him.
For the cross-country meets, he would run everywhere to make sure that you knew that he was there and motivating you to do your best.
Our office has the open door policy. We want those kids to come in and buy in and be involved in what we're doing.
UMass Lowell people are very resilient. It comes down to toughness and grit. That's what we have as a team. Everyone who's went through the program has made an impact in some sort of way.
They reflect the people that came before them, whether it's people that ran for me or people that ran for George.
I am blown away at how successful the program's become. Hard to believe you could have 50 years and only 2 head coaches in that time.
Our expectations are greater than what other people's expectations of our program are. That's how you are successful.
When people are showing up to meets, they can sense that maybe they don't realize it, but there's a lot of pride in the program.
Also, having coached here, you get close to the people and they keep in touch.
Success is those kids coming back, the alumni coming back and being involved, and the difference that you made for them. Getting invited to weddings, going out to lunch with kids in the team, and Paul and I went out to lunch this summer. When they come back with their kids, Angus McDonald was at one of the field hockey games with all 5 of his kids. Seeing things like that honestly, at this point in my career where I'm definitely closer to the end than the beginning, those things are a lot more special to me than winning championships.